What's up, y'all? It's T-Tar, and today we're looking at more of y'all's theories for Pokemon in 2024. Let's go. Peachurun's reactions to its minions. Yo, T-Tar, when you fought Peachurun with Ogerpon, both of them had special reactions. But I wanted to point out that if you brought any of the loyal 3, Peachurun would also have a special reaction because it's mad that its minions are being used against it. So yeah, when you send Ogerpon against Peachurun in the final fight, Ogerpon has a reaction. But he's saying if you send the loyal 3 out, Peachurun reacts to that as well. It probably just screams. Now, the game, this is so weird. It never officially tells you who Peachurun is. But the game has various hints to confirm it. First off, the whole leitmotif of Mochi Madness is the Loyal 3 theme. Peachurun's theme is a super remix of the Loyal 3 theme. It almost sounds like a celebration remix. You know, we're at the end of the game. It's like Game Freak saying thank you all for playing our game. That's what it feels like when I hear that remix. But last thing is Peachurun's Pokédex entry, where it shows the Loyal 3 in the background. Of course we knew they were connected, but we're just looking for what the in-game hints are. So here's the Pokédex entry. Man, how cool is this? I still can't believe we finally know what this dude looks like and we're used to him already. So yeah, these 3 are probably super useless Pokemon, and he fed them the Mochi, but instead of them just being under his control with the purple eyes, they just got these powers. This is another ability of Peachurun that they barely touched on in the game. Instead of them just getting possessed and getting the purple eyes, look, their eyes are all yellow. You would think they should just be purple. Peachurun used a different ability on them, it would seem like, which is something that says in their Scarlet entry, which is that those who eat the Mochi fall under Peachurun's control, chained to its will, that it also draws out desires and capabilities. It makes poisonous Mochi and serves them to people in Pokemon. So it's not like when he gave it to Nemona, Penny, or Arven that they grew stronger. Maybe in a weird way you gotta be compatible with Peachurun. I mean, think about it, he could feed like a Pikachu the toxic Mochi, and we can see what happens. I guess to keep things simple, let's just say you need to be compatible with it. So if you feed it to normal Pokemon, they just get the purple eyes. But when Peachurun fed it to these 3 Pokemon on his journey, which goes with the original Momotaro story, right? He just one by one meets each of them and feeds them the dumplings. Maybe these 3 Pokemon in specific were able to handle it, and then they got their potential drawn out. That's the way I'm gonna say it works. But yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about, right? When you send out Ogerpon in the final battle against Peachurun, Ogerpon reacts to Peachurun. Now, the whole time we were thinking about what the story was a couple hundred years ago when the Loyal 3 attacked, it seemed like the Loyal 3 attacked the Oni Mountain where the man was with the 4 masks, beat the man up, I guess they killed him, and they took 3 of the masks. He was able to protect the Teal mask. Ogerpon finds the Teal mask, goes down to the village, kills the Loyal 3. But then there's a layer after that, which is when you look at the cutscene closely, you can see Peachurun is in the corner, which means Peachurun was a 4th member that was a part of the group that attacked the old man. But Peachurun is nowhere to be seen. So what we thought all this time, or at least what I was putting forward, is while the Loyal 3 beat the man still killed Peachurun. And that's why the villagers don't know about Peachurun, even though it was leading the Loyal 3. And so they only worship the Loyal 3. And that was the idea until you send out Ogerpon against Peachurun. Ogerpon recognizes Peachurun, which means I think all 4 of them jumped the old man, and the old man beat none of them. And Ogerpon took out all 4 of them in the village. Ogerpon is the one that killed Peachurun back then, and so its body just laid there for a couple hundred years until it ended up at Peachy's shop. And so that's why you can see Peachurun's body there in the village, the same place that the other Loyal 3 were killed. So yeah, sending up Ogerpon against Peachurun in that final battle is like the big rematch. Not that Ogerpon lost to it anyway. It's his rematch. How far we've come, my dudes. Remember this picture? We have come so far. It's of the past now. We know everything there is about Dokutaro now. That's the last time you're gonna see me say that name. We now know everything about Peachurun. As soon as I record that, the next day they dropped that untold story. So we were right about some things and then wrong. So I was right because it did have his own Momotaro story, befriending them all one by one, which was so cool to see. And Ogerpon did beat up all 4 of them, but I got the order wrong. I thought Ogerpon beat up Peachurun first, and that's why the villagers didn't see him. but they seem to have fought in a forest nearby that only like some villagers could witness the fight properly anyway. So, and it seems like because Picharon is this more background support leader type Pokemon that people didn't really see it in the fight. So when Ogerpon beat it up last, no one even knew it existed. I don't know how they made this evil looking Pokemon me actually feel for it. All it was trying to do was make that couple proud. How can you do this to me, Game Freak? Anyhow, listen, comment down below, Team Picharon or Team Ogerpon. Listen, Picharon didn't mean no harm, even though he did a lot. Alright, let's keep going. Picharon possessing legendaries. Hey Tam, what if Picharon could not just possess people, but also legendaries? You know, this is actually fully possible. We were just talking about this, right? But in a future game, especially since we don't know where Picharon, the Loyal 3 are from, they're from some unknown faraway region, what you could do in a future game is have another trio of Pokemon that just have the toxic chains. And that's like the legendary of that region. Or, right, since Game Freak likes to do these kind of regional variant type introductions, so I'll explain. Like we have the Galarian birds as variants of the birds, and then we have the Paradox beasts as variants of the beasts, Paradox Swords of Justice, right? So now we have 3 groups of them, and they also did a similar thing for the Regis, but instead they just introduced more of them. So if they wanted to revisit another group of legendaries, let's say like the Laddie twins, their variants could be you just see them in a region and they have the toxic chains, and that's their variant. That's pretty cool. We could see that. Even if they don't reveal the lore, you could see what they're implying, right? That Picharon ran into them along the way, tried to possess them, and he should have. I mean, they fall under his will. But maybe there's more to it. Maybe if you get your potential awakened, you can resist them to some extent. Okay, future teacher back here. He is right. There is something weird about whether you really follow its will or not. Because, for example, he didn't see this yet, but the grandpa and grandma, they weren't just under Picharon's will, where Picharon could just make them shut up. They kept asking him for things. So their greed was awakened, but they could still go out and do their own things. So, just in this hypothetical scenario, the Laddie twins, Picharon blesses them with its chains, and then they just vroom off somewhere, because they don't actually have to listen to him. It seems like in some scenarios. So maybe like this Latios and Latias that I'm just making as an example, maybe they are under Picharon's will, but once they like flew out of sight, they got out of his radius, and so they were just roaming with the toxic chains now. I mean, while Picharon is based off the Momotaro story, now that it's made, they can stray away from it, right? So if you did run into a Latios and Latios, what would they be? Dragon poison. Damn. And they would have toxic chains as their ability. Yeah, that's kind of sick. I'm gonna predict the 2026 Pokemon games, Gen 10. You ready? It's Pokemon King and Queen, and you got Toxic Latios in one game, Toxic Latios in the other game. Anyhow, make sure to shank that like button. It is officially, my dudes, 6 weeks until Pokemon Day. I told you this counter going down fast, my dudes. We're already a quarter of the way there. Let's see where it leads us. Keep sending me y'all's theories and we'll look at them. It's here, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.